American Brain Rot, episode 3, while we're still in the process of editing episode 2. That's how it is. That's how it's going to be.
The struggle continues.
Yeah. Eric Adams has just been a complete fascist since taking over. Just incredibly out of touch. You know, I mean,
he had all those cars in that march down the streets of
he had a big
Manhattan.
fascist parade with the NYPD, thousands of cops, just a big show of power. I mean, the excuse was the funeral for the cop that died, but this is not the first cop that's ever died, and this doesn't happen when cops die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't throw a big Nazi parade every time a cop dies. But
no, that was the first. I haven't seen that shit in a long
is
time.
all
Something
him.
like that with the lined up cars and the lights.
Yeah, this was all him.
I wish they did that when a person died. You know what I mean? And show not only the brothers in arms some respect, which I do believe they should in some way, but why don't you do that when normal citizens are shot by cops or something like that?
What happens
then
when
it'll be cool. Then that's America.
Yeah, but what happens when people die like that is people peacefully protest, and then the cops beat the fucking living shit out of those people. So that's what happens. That's what happens when people get shot by cops.
Damn.
Unfortunately. But
and some of the cops put on a mask and start throwing shit at the stores, hanging on the protest.
they're just Eric Adams. He at the beginning of last month, he said, I guess this is a little unrelated to this, but he said that people who are chefs and cooks and delivery people are low-skill workers who don't have the intellect to work an office job. Which, I mean, you're a fucking moron to think that, let alone be the mayor of New York City.
I mean,
you're a complete fucking fool. You're a buffoon to think that. To think that what an office job is like, you need like your master's to work an office job.
He's out of touch. He's
a clown.
He's not. It's like he's not talking to New Yorkers. He's talking to the Washington people at Washington. His colleagues over there.
Well, yeah, he's talking to the rich. He's talking to
the rich for sure when he says some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. He's talking to the ultra wealthy, the people who think like him. Pretty much, he's appealing to them, and he continues to appeal to them. So let's take a look at this real quick.
We need to have the justice we deserve, but the safety we need. And we need to tweak some of the legislation that we have witnessed to take into account the public safety aspect of it. And then we can't have cities, Anderson, where people are walking into stores, taking off the shelves whatever they want without paying, and then selling it on the internet because of organized crime methods. You can't have people on your subway systems, on your streets that have mental health illnesses and unable to take care of themselves. You are watching the erosion of American cities because there's a mindset in our cities that any and everything goes. There's no form of order. This is unacceptable. And too many young people believe it is permissible and all right to carry a firearm because that's the tone we have set, and we have to stop that tone.
What is he talking about?
We need.
He wants more cops on the streets. Is what he's saying.
Clearly, he's creating these boogeymen, like these fake problems to justify more law enforcement. That's it.
Right.
People going into stores and taking things and selling them on the internet. What the fuck is he talking about? What is he talking about?
Those random videos you see on Instagram where the guys just stuff like a billion things in their bags and run away. That doesn't necessarily mean it's from New York. And
Also,
that's in other states as well.
he doesn't address he doesn't address why people are stealing things. Why are people stealing things? If people are stealing things, let's talk about why. Instead of, nah, we need more cops.
No, you definitely know why. You know what I'm saying? It's the wages. It's the wages. It's the
It's everything.
wealth and inequality. It's the fucking long hours. People are fucking tired, bro.
Yeah, I
They'll
mean,
take shortcuts here and there. You know what I mean? People that won't necessarily do it if they had the money not to.
yeah, it's every systemic issue that we have that leads to, you know, economic anxiety and, you know, people feeling the need to steal or, you know, do what they have to do for a little bit of cash. It's insane. But of course, he's not gonna, you know, fascist mayor isn't gonna talk about that. He's never gonna talk about that. He's
Yeah.
just gonna create these fucking. God, he's such a fucking idiot. He's such a dumbass.
She's trying to appear strong, when you're talking to a demographic of so many people. He's choosing to sound extremely strong, and there's going to be a lot of people that listen to him, and unfortunately, they're not going to see through what he's not saying. You know what I'm saying? I understand what he's not saying. He's not talking about the wages. He's not talking about the real problems that may be the reason why crime has fucking increased.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he's definitely trying to choose the side of the strong, and he knows he's going to get that much people to vote for him. Those type of people are going to vote, and then hopefully some Democrats, and he'll try to squeeze a fucking victory. It's better to hold one position than no positions, and you're fucking everywhere like a boring Democrat, like a fucking, who's a boring Democrat? AB Klobuchar. I guess she's not boring where she's from, but
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
He's appealing to conservatives, to neoliberal, centrist Democrats, people who strictly believe in law and order, and
Yeah, which is theoretically the more richer class. The
Of
more richer
course.
class wants the law and order because they can pay the cops to stay the fuck away from my property, make sure those motherfuckers stay out of my shit.
that's
You know
what
what I mean?
cops protect. Cops protect capital, not people. They protect
Right.
the ultra wealthy. Here's some more of Eric Adams' greatest hits. Guess the army fascist parade Trump never got. Strong men come in all shapes and colors. That's right. Here's our lovely fascist parade in our home of New York City. All cops.
Holy shit, that is huge.
Yep. Insane. Completely insane. But this is all by design.
You think Rennie was in there?
Ronnie, you mean?
Oh, my bad. I always confuse them. They know that.
Yeah, this is all by design. This is all a show of power. This is him showing everyone this is what New York City is going to be all about. It's going to be about cops in total control, in total and complete control, as if they weren't already. But
Right.
a little bit of reassurance.
You keep increasing their fucking weaponry, and then it gets real scary.
Yeah, you keep increasing the NYPD's budget year after year. It increased again this
And
year.
they keep getting these fucking SWAT fucking gear, all these high caliber weapons. It's definitely a thought process. Meanwhile, they fucking make New Yorkers. It's so hard to own a gun in New York, bro. Like, you have to go through a lot of shit, right? It's not as easy as in other states to acquire a gun.
I suppose, but it's still quite easy overall to get a gun.
Yeah.
Just in the country, in this country in general, it's quite fucking easy to own a gun.
Huh.
Yeah, in Texas,
Look at this army. I might have to grab me one, man.
nobody would blame you. Just by looking at this video.
I ain't gonna stop that, but fuck it. You're taking me alive, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. In Texas, it's really easy to get a gun. All you have to do is show them your driver's license and they hand you a gun. That's it. No other checks, no other background checks, nothing.
Ugh, that's scary.
Yeah. But anyway, this is awful. I fucking hate Eric Adams. What
Yeah,
he's
then I told you that he's apologizing now because he called the white he called his white colleagues crackers. He said, "I'm a better cop than those cracker colleagues." That's what he said. Now he's going on an apology tour.
he's a clown. He's a complete
Already apologized. He just got the job. He's apologizing already, son.
Yeah, and here he is almost quoting word for word the fascist, the king fascist Mussolini. New York City, New York is a corporation. I'm the CEO of New York City. I'm going to put my systems in place. Mussolini, fascism should more appropriately be called corporatism because it is a merger of state and corporate power, which is literally what Eric Adams is doing, merging state and corporate power. So you never want to come close to quoting one of the biggest fascists of all time, the fascist.
Motherfucker.
It's awful. It fucking sucks that he's our mayor. I don't know. I don't even know. Besides people paying attention and applying political pressure, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to do with this guy or how to what we can do to deal with this guy because it's gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse.
Well, how long do mayors have? They have
6
like
years.
what? 6 years? Damn.
Yep.
That's a big 6 years. It's a big 6-0.
Yep. And we're gonna see a lot of police bullshit for a while. Whether it's them shooting people or whatever it is. He's giving them ultimate control right now. And once again, like I said, I think it was last episode. This is why primaries are important. This is exactly why. Voting in
Yeah.
the primary is important. Because then you end up with a fascist. You literally end up with somebody like this when you don't vote in the primaries. And now you're forced to vote for this guy against the Republican.
Yeah, and even worse for people who don't vote in the primaries or the people who don't vote at all, bro. Like, I got so many friends that have families, and I tell them, bro, like, yo, listen to me, man, do this, do that. Yeah. They don't do it. I don't know why. They're just not into politics, bro, at all. They're just completely oblivious to the world, which is dangerous in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
It's dangerous, man, because now look. I
Yeah.
mean, he will get checked. I mean, that we still got New Yorkers that are beloved in New York that are progressives. So if he ever steps out of line to the point where it's like, okay, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? like when Donald Trump tried to say he didn't know the KKK leader, whatever that racist guy was, like, whoa, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
He didn't want to admit that he knew him. Same thing, man. Once Eric Adams has his what the fuck moment, you have people like Bernie Sanders, AOC saying, "Listen, this guy's no good. We're completely against this."
I hope so.
You know what I
I can
mean?
only hope.
Because
Yeah.
everybody's gonna check everybody, son.
I hope so. He has to be held accountable. Period. He has to be held accountable.
Right now, he's just dipping his toes in the pool. Right now, we see it, but to the general public, I bet you most people don't even know who their mayor is. You understand? Like,
Yeah.
well, hey, who's the mayor? Like, that's how people are not attached.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And the goal is to change that. Hopefully. Hopefully. The goal is to get people involved and get them paying attention, man, because this is, I mean, the reason why we're in what we're in today in this country is because people have been so disenfranchised by our government and by everything, where to the point where people, they don't want to pay attention to politics. It's, to them it's just, another form of entertainment and it's boring. And, little do they know that these people are in complete control of their lives and what they can and can't do,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you know?
And then also when you think about it, think about how tired people are, bro. They come home,
Of
they have like
course.
8 days, 8 hours of work, 8, 9 hours of work. Then they have like 3 kids they gotta entertain. Maybe they want to play games, like and relax,
Hmm.
be with their significant others, and then they have to go to sleep because they gotta do it all over again the next day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Hmm.
who has the time to look at politics? Politics first was a hobby for me, and now I have to know what's going on in the world on an everyday updated basis. You know what I mean? It's part of
Yeah.
my life now, and I still enjoy games. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, me too. I mean, it's definitely just a regular part of my life now, but that needs to be the case for more people. It just does. Because, when people get a crazy bill from the hospital, all, the average American who is just disenfranchised with politics isn't even going to think about politics in that situation. They're just going to be like, fuck, this is really expensive. I guess I just need a better job because I can't afford it. You know what I mean? People think they're the problem.
Right.
People think that they're the issue. When in
Mhm.
reality, you can be making change for that to avoid that. You can apply political pressure and use your voice and use your vote to get rid of disgusting hospital bills once and for all, and many other things, of course.
Mm. Yeah, man. So we got a bunch of idiots by
Uh,
the fucking bridge here in Canada.
yeah, yeah. Ottawa mayor declares state of emergency to deal with trucking blockade. So this this is a case of American brain rot spreading to other countries. That's exactly what this is.
Hmm.
American brain rot is just as big of a virus as COVID. This it spreads everywhere. Yeah, this is nuts.
They did a blockade. They're trying to block truckers from going in and out of the borders and in their trucks. I think it's a bunch of trucks actually, the convoy of
Yeah,
trucks
yeah, it's a lot.
that are all unvaccinated. They're all putting there to protest the government over there, and turns out there's a bunch of flags start waving. We got some Nazis, we got some Confederate lovers there. People flying, driving from even America to the border as well.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
and
Protesters have paralyzed downtown Ottawa for the past 9 days, with some participants waving Confederate or Nazi flags, and some saying they want to dissolve Canada's government. Convoy organizers say they will not leave until the vaccine mandates are ended. So
yeah, that's a no go
those
for
are the
Mr. Trudeau.
those are the lovely people that are
Yeah,
out there.
I think he did a state of emergency on these good people. I don't know, and I don't think he wants to send the troops in, but
Yeah, well, the state of emergency was by the mayor of Ottawa, so
oh,
Trudeau is not directly involved, but I'm sure he's he's trying to figure out what to fucking do with these people.
so it's getting crazy, bro. I can't wait till this just passes this fucking COVID thing, and everybody just either like they just ends up getting vaccinated eventually. But I know that's not going to happen, and
Yeah, don't hold your breath
there's
for
gonna be
that.
new strains, and it's just gonna get worse, bro. Fucking
Yep.
kind of scary, bro. People just don't. They believe in Robert Malone and Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It says Trudeau, who is isolating after testing positive for COVID-19, has ruled out using the military to disband the protest due to security concerns. Trudeau and his family left their downtown home last weekend, and his location has not been disclosed. because Nazis will probably try to kill him.
That'd be crazy, bro. Nazis are fucking nuts, dude.
The prime minister has said
Put them in jail, bro. The fuck? Send the police in there.
Yeah. The convoy represented a small fringe minority, and the government would not be intimidated. About 90% of Canada's cross-border truckers and almost 79% of the population has had 2 COVID-19 shots, which means the people here protesting are just a small group of fucking idiots, small group of fucking morons.
You fucking idiots starting trouble at the border.
Fucking dumbasses.
Well, I don't know, man. I heard the hospital beds are being filled up at hospitals with COVID patients, and then when people come in with actual, well, everything is serious now, but they come with any other serious problems, they don't get access to a bed, and some of them die as a result of it. So kind of sucks, because if they just gotten vaccinated, would have not taken those beds. You know what I mean? That's what it sucks for me. To know someone died, I would be so pissed off at anybody who's unvaccinated. I'd just knock them right the fuck out if I had a family member die like that. You know what I mean?
It sucks, dude.
I'd just knock them out, bro.
It sucks. It sucks that people who are really in need have to wait because of people who don't want to get vaccinated. It's wild. It's wild to think that we're even here. It's wild to think that we got to this point.
Yeah. I mean, just goes to show how easily split the American people really are, right? I mean, all it took was Donald Trump to say that the COVID-19 was nothing, and it made that split of Americans, just one side vaccines, one side no vaccines, just like that. You know, and now when the damage is done, he's trying to change his mind. Oh, take the vaccine now. That's why his ass got booed in that damn freaking speech he did. They booed him once he started saying it.
Yeah. These people are just too far gone.
I mean, it's a political split. If you're a Republican, you think you shouldn't get the vaccine, but because that's the political position. It's been politicized.
Yeah,
Horrible.
I mean, it's not only if you're a
Science has
Republican.
been politicized. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not only Republicans who are not getting vaccinated. It's people who, just aren't educated on stuff like this, and who easily succumb to conspiracy theories. People who are, religious, really religious, who will just believe shit like this, no matter what. Even if one person said it, somebody they don't know who said it, who posted it on Facebook, that's it. They believe it. They'll just believe it.
Well, the real religious people think that God will have their back. So
Yeah, Jesus Christ is the vaccine.
yes. Speaking of the COVID vaccines, I know that states are now going to take on COVID sick leave without the federal government helping them out. I think I sent that to you. There it is in Los Angeles.
You sent me the link.
Yeah, those women right there. They may have to do state law to give people, sick leave time, because right now the government's not doing it. So the state's got to take care of their own people. Obviously, that's going to be a bit of a cost, but you have to do what you got to do to save the people's lives, right? People who have COVID need to be quarantining. They have to be there for a little bit longer, and it has to be paid, because all you're going to do is keep spreading the fucking virus. So this is something that must be done.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that the federal government is not increasing that themselves.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to just leave it to the states to handle it. It's garbage. It's complete garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Biden put that shit in the Build Back Better plan, and it was like 12 weeks, and then they stripped it to like 4 weeks, and they took it out completely. Like, they just kept making it worse and worse, and then all at the end, fucking Manchin doesn't even vote for it, so it doesn't get sent to the Senate.
Yeah, the good thing about the states handling it is that they can, like you just mentioned, they can now implement things that the federal government won't, which is like paid leave and stuff like that. They can now implement these things. Whether or not they do is another question, but they can. So I hope that they do. I hope that they do implement more effective COVID procedures and paid time off and whatnot. The vast majority of workers nationwide have had no extra paid days to take off while recovering from a coronavirus diagnosis or caring for an infected family member since the fall, when Congress allowed a law that gave tax credits to businesses that offered supplemental COVID leave to expire. Of course.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. They let it go. They gave it to us, then they took that shit right the fuck away, bro. They could not handle. They could not handle people being sick. I guess they don't want to pay, bro.
Yeah, California and Illinois are considering laws that would give extra sick time to employees like school staff and food service workers who have staged protests in recent weeks over a lack of COVID protections. California lawmakers are scheduled to vote this week on a temporary mandate pushed by Gavin Newsom. So let's
Damn, that's in California, Illinois. That's good for them.
let's hope that does go through. I hope it does.
Well, that'll send a big message all around the United States. See, and that would be cool if the people like saw that happen, and then they go, "Oh, if Illinois can do it, New York can do it," and like it becomes like a competitive drive, like politically, and then all of a sudden New York signs up, and all these states start signing up because they have so much political pressure. Wouldn't that fucking be awesome, Denny?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, political pressure is the way to go. Political pressure works. Political pressure works a
Actually, does work.
lot. It works big time, and people don't realize that.
Hell yeah!
So
But
I hope that does happen. I hope that does spread throughout the country, because I mean they don't give a fuck, man. They don't care.
see what happens, bro. See
If
what happens.
if it's something that has nothing to do with bringing in profit, they don't care. Profit is the motive, always, for our government.
Let's see what else we have here. Just the United States. Oh shit, Reuters is cool. We also got Pence finally coming out and saying that there's no way he could have overturned the election after 1 year. Finally said something.
Yeah,
What do you think is the strategy in that, bro? Like, why the fuck would he do that? What's the strategy?
just distancing himself from Trump. That's it.
I mean, Trump was in some bad heat. Pence wanted to get away because I think he was probably afraid of his life since they wanted to hang him so goddamn badly January 6th.
Yep. He wanted to stay out of any kind of spotlight, out of the media, stay away from Trump, wait a whole fucking year, and then say something. But
Yeah, and it's not just him that started saying something. People from Fox News started saying stuff. Other Republican senators and governors started saying shit.
yeah,
Same thing, and like he couldn't overturn it.
it's all politically motivated. They're all cowards because they should have said something from the very beginning. But of course they didn't, because they don't want to lose support. They know their voters are racist and bigoted and are just terrible. So they don't want to
Do you
lose
think?
support.
Do you think there's a chance that Pence is trying to save face, and he's picking a position of saying I couldn't do this. Donald Trump is lying, or Donald Trump is too stupid to even know what he's talking about. I couldn't do this. Do you think he's trying to save faith, show him strength in that, and because he's trying to like run for president against Donald Trump?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I guess we'll start knowing if they start interviewing him like crazy out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think what he really wants to do is draw a line between him and Trump and show show Republicans that they're not the same, that they don't believe in the same things. And, I think he wants to get that out there to Republican voters. That's it. So that,
I mean, do you think Donald Trump's gonna come? You think he's gonna become like unopposed? Like he's gonna run unopposed in the primaries? I mean,
No.
there's got to be somebody. There's
there's
the
always
thing
people.
is, if you all right, there's always people, but they know they're gonna get pretty much bashed up by Donald Trump. So whoever makes that step they're gonna be like, listen, I'm not for Trumpism. Fuck that. I represent the Republican Party.
Yeah.
I mean, do you
They,
think they're all gonna get smoked?
yeah. It's hard to say because,
Like they're trying to make him look stupid right now. Together as a unit is what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like at the
because,
end of the day, if you're a Trump supporter, you gotta understand that he couldn't do anything about it.
right, right. Yeah, it's because they want to run for president. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Ted Cruz and all of them, they want to become president, but they know that they can't if Trump is still going to be around.
yeah. They're trying to crush. They're slowly trying to. Here's the game they're playing. They're slowly trying to crush and lower Trump's political power by showing bad stories of him or accounting showing off that he's stupid and they want to, but they got to do that without him noticing, because once he notices you doing that, he attacks, which is what he did to Lindsey Graham recently. When Lindsey Graham said, we should prosecute those who attacked January 6th. On January 6th, we should prosecute those. Donald Trump is wrong, and Donald Trump destroyed his ass. Like, he's wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Blah blah blah, and that's it. Once Donald Trump doesn't like you and he insults you in any way, Trump supporters are gonna run you down, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
it's
can't be in his radar.
yeah, it's also a big question. If Trump has lost any support, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't like that he's pro-vax. A lot of his supporters don't like that he's suggesting to get the vaccine. So
Right.
are they still going to vote for him? Do they still support him? Or are they going to move on to somebody like Ted Cruz?
Ugh. I don't know, man. I think Trump has a lot of the younger middle-aged men, and I think most of those guys probably only join politics because of Trump, to vote for Trump.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And that's another thing we forget. Like he got a lot of people to register to vote. Like he did, and that's the reason why he won. So I don't think somebody who was originally with Trump would go vote for like Ted Cruz. I think they would just not vote. You know what I mean? Because they're mad. If they're that mad at him, they're just like, fuck it, I don't care. But then again, I can see them also just be like, nah, I hate them, but Trump.
Yeah, I see them being like, no, fuck the Democrats, the far right communist Democrats. They can't run the country. I'm gonna vote for whoever,
Yeah, nah,
whoever's on the Republican side.
they'll still vote for Trump. Let's be serious. Oh, I hate that he doesn't, agree with the vaccines. Idiot, he's so old. But I love him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
We'll see. I mean, the next
Did
real.
you?
What's up?
I was gonna say, did you hear about this guy Joe Rogan? He did a compilation of him saying the N word.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Hassan Piker's stream.
Oh my god. I didn't even see it. I didn't see the video at all. I
Mm-hmm.
just saw like an article of it. I read it and I was like, oh man, I don't even want to imagine how he sounds. I mean,
Yeah, I saw it. It's funny. Like it's funny. It is funny. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's times where it looks like he's having a lot of fun saying the word, just because at the time, I'm sure he knew that there wasn't really going to be any real consequences. So I'm sure there was some joy or some pleasure to with him knowing that he's a white guy and saying this word and knowing that nothing is going to happen. But
all right.
that just isn't the case anymore. And he gave his apology. It was fine, I guess. I don't know if I believe that Joe Rogan is a racist person. I don't think that he is. But
Yeah, I wouldn't say he is either.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, okay, the N-word stuff is whatever. It's inappropriate. And you shouldn't say it, especially him. But the his COVID bullshit, his COVID misinformation is way, way more serious to me than that. Way more
Mm.
serious to me than that. And I think a lot of people, even black people, would probably agree with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I
Yeah.
mean, me being from New York, we definitely say it ourselves growing up a lot, But I guess it all comes down to how did he say it? The context is important to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? If you're saying it like making fun of their actually saying racist things and saying it, that's a big difference than just saying it. But then
Yeah.
again, who am I? Who
Yeah.
am I?
Oops. Let me fix this here.
It's Puerto Rican from New York's opinion.
Right. Sorry. This. Yeah. He didn't. He didn't. Let's see. I can click on this. He didn't use it in a racist way. He used it in terms of like newsworthy context,
Hmm.
like if he's quoting somebody or whatever, presenting it more as news and not calling people that. He didn't do that at all. However, he did say something really racist that didn't involve the N word, talking
What do you say?
about. He said he went to go watch Planet of the Apes with his friend, and that when he went to the movie theater, that there wasn't a white person in sight. He felt like he was actually in Planet of the Apes.
Ouch.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty bad.
yeah, and his apology on that part just it was just like, okay, dude, it didn't work. Whatever. I'm sure you're sorry, but that was a bad one. That was really bad. It
That's
took me
bad.
back
Yeah, you
from.
can't get out of that one. Yeah, I mean, you could come back for it, but you just gotta ignore it and just whoever says it, you apologize again. Just change your goddamn topic as soon as you can.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ouch.
I think he needs to start understanding because he constantly says, "Oh, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy. I'm just a dumbass. I'm just a regular guy." Blah blah. Sure, I think that's not wrong, and I think deep down he probably feels that that's who he is. But I don't think he's really understanding that his platform is not that of just some guy, just some regular guy. He has bigger viewership than Tucker Carlson, which is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
He has a lot of young white men that watch him and take what he has to say very seriously, which they shouldn't. Nobody should, but people do. People take what he has to say really seriously. He has some of these far right guests on that he frames as, professionals and intellects, when in reality they're not, bro. They're just far right grifters like Jordan Peterson. And
oh yeah, the tux guy wore a tuxedo on the show, right?
yeah, he wore a tux, and he just said just the dumbest things on that episode. He just said so many stupid things. And, Joe Rogan he barely challenges him. He barely challenges any of his guests at all. He just goes along with it. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Interesting.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. It's just like, dude.
I never thought of it like that.
Jordan Peterson went on and was literally just pushing every far right narrative that there is. Climate change, pretty much saying climate change is bullshit. A ton of transphobia.
He was saying that global warming is everything, and if everything is everything, then he like kept on going on a tangent, and you're like, wait, what?
He's a clown.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
He just like Ben Shapiro. They try to come off as like these like big brained fucking guys when they're literally saying the stupidest fucking things on earth. And that's the platform that Joe Rogan has. And he needs to understand that people are going to take him seriously. Even no matter how many times he says, don't take me seriously, I'm an idiot, I'm a dumbass, people will. People 100% still will. So, I think he needs to take that into account a little more and understand that every single time he peddles COVID misinformation, there is going to be somebody who takes it seriously and who potentially ends up getting sick and dying. And that blood is on his hands.
Yeah, or killing other people.
Yeah, that blood is all on his hands.
Yeah, he definitely helped do that, for sure. Yeah, it sucks that he does that, man. It's crazy because there was a recent video that came out that showcased him talking about vaccines in the past and how he was completely for it, and how you're an idiot if you don't take the vaccine. He was talking to a doctor from back in the day, and now he's completely flipped the switch. Like, if you ever wondered why, if Joe Rogan's a grifter himself, he became a grifter for the right, just watch that video, bro. You know what I mean?
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s, and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction. Or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Not calling anybody or just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic. But a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up. And that's my intention to express myself in this video, to say, there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that it is, holy shit, it looks bad. And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes, over 12 years. I said a lot of fucking stupid shit, which is fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie.
He just said he wasn't doing it.
It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said,
am I bugging right now? He just said he didn't do it, and then said, I was just saying there's a lot of black people around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound, even the apology itself, it's hard to explain yourself after you say something like that.
There's a video of him doing that?
Yeah. It's on his podcast.
Okay. Oh, he said the story on his podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he had a video out. Okay. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Idiot.
It was on his
He said
podcast. He was with two other people on the podcast, and he said that.
What an idiot.
have clunky stories about anything, but not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and taken out of context. It looks terrible, but it looks terrible even in context. It's a fucking idiotic thing to say. And I was just trying to be entertaining. I certainly wasn't trying to be racist. And I certainly would never want to offend someone for entertainment with something as stupid as racism. My hope is that, look, I can't go back in time and change what I've said. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. But I do hope that this can be a teachable moment for anybody that doesn't realize how offensive that word can be coming out of a white person's mouth, in context or out of context. My sincere and humble apologies. I wish there was more that I could say, but all of this is just me talking from the bottom of my heart. It makes me sick watching that video, but hopefully at least some of you will accept this and understand where I'm coming from. My apologies and much love. My sincere, deepest apologies and much love.
Oh, shit.
Well,
that's the first start, right? You got to apologize at the end of the day. If some people stay nice and quiet or they double down on what they said, you know, they just say it again.
yeah.
He can't handle that
Whatever.
pressure. He's trying to get in front of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this just adds on to all of the COVID stuff surrounding him of late. But like I said before, whatever, I understand if you're someone who doesn't want to watch Joe Rogan anymore because of this. Okay, fine, whatever. I wouldn't blame anybody, but like I said before, the COVID stuff is far more concerning than this. So much more concerning than this. Systemic racism is something that has to be tackled and dealt with, but that's something we've been trying to deal with for a long time. The COVID is getting people killed now, today, and he's
He's
not
responsible
helping.
for that.
Yeah,
he's
he's not
definitely
helping at
responsible
all.
for it. Well, they say they're gonna put a disclaimer in front of his episodes from now on. It's kind of letting people know that these facts are not verified. The things said in this podcast are not verified. Shit like that.
And they deleted a bunch of his episodes that, like, I don't know why. Like, some episodes had nothing to do with anything, but they deleted them.
Sure.
Yeah, they deleted a ton of his episodes, over 100 episodes.
Yeah, because I'm just saying he's been talking about COVID vaccines.
No,
and
they deleted
unvaccinated
episodes
for a lot of
years
episodes.
ago. They deleted episodes from years back, like old episodes. And
That's interesting.
nobody knows why. It's just like, what? It's crazy, but
Well, maybe he has control of it too. Does he have control
No.
of those episodes being deleted?
No.
Never mind.
all right, let's take a look at stupid ass Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan.
Within I have 2 books that I'm reading right now that are future people that are coming in February. So
they're a lot ahead.
Yeah, they'll be, well, it's like one of them is a climate change book, and it's intense. And so it's requiring a lot of thinking, and then I have to look at the criticisms of this guy and criticisms of the work, and who believes that in 10 years Miami's going to be underwater, who believes that this is probably hyperbole and that it's a gross exaggeration, and the reality is, the world sort of always goes through these cycles of change, but human beings are definitely having an effect on it, but a small effect compared to cows and other things. It's hard to sort out. The climate change one is a weird one. So that
What
one,
is he talking about?
There's no such thing as climate.
What?
Joe Rogan has never talked about climate change like that before. He's saying, he explained, is Miami going to go underwater in 10 years? That's all he gave for the actual truth of global warming in terms of what can happen with rising sea levels. You understand? And then he goes off on a tangent on the opposite side. He gives the example of cows, and then he starts going off in a tangent of
Well, the cows thing is not. The cows thing is legitimate.
how is that legitimate?
The methane in their farts, in their shit, in their waste, is bad for the environment. It affects the ozone layer. It's not like there are many other things that are much worse than that affect the ozone layer and the environment. But there
that's
are
what he
studies.
didn't. That's what he's not explaining. He's explaining little things or is it just cows farting in the air? What are you talking about, bro? It's corporations like ExxonMobil fucking emit
of course.
methane into the fucking sky.
Yeah.
And carbon dioxide in the sky. It's not the fucking cows, bro.
Yeah, the cows thing, if I'm not mistaken, is mentioned in the Green New Deal.
I see.
Yeah. But there aren't any actions that are going to be taken to, eradicate cows? Nothing's going to happen.
Right.
Climate, right? Climate and everything are the same.
to sort out. The climate change one's a weird one. So that one,
that's because there's no such thing as climate, right? Climate and everything are the same word. And that's what bothers me about the climate change types. It's like, this is something that bothers me about it technically.
Did you see Joe Rogan almost about to laugh? Hold on.
Oh, no, I did not.
and
Literally.
everything are the same word. And that's what bothers me about the climate
He
change
does that.
types.
Oh, that's you. Oh, man.
This is something that bothers me about it technically. It's like, well, climate is about everything. So, okay. But your models aren't based on everything. Your models are based on a set number of variables.
Yeah.
So that means you've reduced the variables, which are everything, to that set. Well, how did you decide which set of variables to include in the equation if it's about everything? And that's not just a criticism. That's like, if it's about everything, your models aren't right. Because your models do not and cannot model everything.
What do you mean by everything when you say?
Well, but that's what people who talk about the climate apocalypse claim in some sense. We have to change everything. It's like everything, eh?
This guy's
Okay,
just
what? And the
putting
same with the word
sentences
environment.
together.
That word doesn't mean
diarrhea right
it
here.
means
What
so
the
much that it
fuck
actually
is
doesn't
this?
mean anything. Like when you say everything, in a sense, that's meaningless, right? Because, well, what are you pointing to? Well, I'm pointing to everything. Well, what's the difference between the environment and everything? There's no difference. What's the difference between climate and everything? Well, there's no difference. So this is a crisis of everything? It's like, no, it's not. Or if it is, well, if it really is, then we're done because we can't fix everything.
Well,
but we have to.
What they mean specifically is the human, what human beings are doing that's causing the Earth to warm.
Right,
So
right. But
it's-
you have to include all these factors in the models to determine
Yeah.
that. All these factors. Well, what can you not include? Well, then by deciding what you don't include, you decide which set of variables are cardinal. And you have to make that decision in some sense before you even generate the models. This is a big problem. It's partly, it's not the only reason, but
Oh my God.
there's another problem that bedevils climate modeling too, which is that as you stretch out the models across time, the error.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, listen. I don't even know what the fuck he was talking about,
What
bro.
an idiot.
It wasn't making any sense at all.
Don't if you're a regular listener of Joe Rogan or Peterson, just come on, dude. You have to realize all he did was like go to a word generator and put a bunch of fucking words together and try to pull it off as if it made sense.
Yeah, he kept using the word variable and cardinal.
It's a lot of what Ben Shapiro does.
Oh man, that was really bad, bro. You know, I never watched it in its whole entire.
That was awful,
like-
dude. That was
Oh, that
fucking
was really bad.
awful. He said nothing. He said fucking nothing there. This comment. I was gonna clean my room, but what does it mean to clean my room? How do you determine what is and isn't dirty, or where the room even starts and ends? Until you can give me a perfect model of these things, there's really no point to ever cleaning my room. That's literally what he said.
Yeah.
Fucking dumbass. Oh, it's everything. Climate is everything. What do you?
And
What?
if the climate and everything, then what kind of variables are incorporated into that everything? And who are we to choose which variables they are?
What a fool, dude.
Or what formula to use with it? I'm like, wait, what?
What a fool. What a complete fool.
He's defending Joe Rogan on CNN. There are people with this. This is Peterson. There are people with plenty of resources ready to back Joe Rogan. He's simply not cancelable. So keep death spiraling legacy media types as you actively bring about your own well-earned demise. Oh, okay. This guy's been playing some video games, bro. He's been reading some action books.
He's a clown. He's a complete fucking clown that is trying to maintain his brand of, being this intellectual. But
Yeah. Yeah, I think he hopped out of an intellectual bus during that interview, bro.
intellect these nuts. It's fucking just a
Intellect
complete
these
moron.
fucking- Slap your skin off your face, you fucking. The fuck is he talking about, bro? Yo, imagine sitting next to that guy smoking weed and he starts fucking going on that type of tangent.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him
What the
smoking.
fuck are you
weed.
doing?
Complete dork, dude. Broken brain. His brain is just completely broken. All right.
Don't they put this guy all over the fucking cable news?
No, not really.
Good.
Not really.
That's good.
But maybe Fox News, but that's it. He's too far right for MSNBC or CNN to want to dirty their hands with that. So they don't really have him on or people like him on. He's a big transphobe. Big transphobe.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's kind of how he became famous. Canada passed a bill that pretty much, prevented discrimination against trans people. But he took it and twisted it and pretty much said, like, you're going to go to jail. Canada's going to send you to jail for saying anything negative about trans people. This is what they did. They just passed this law. They're gonna oppress you and send you to jail if you say anything about trans people, blah, blah, which was a lie. He was lying. It's a complete lie.
Yeah, that
But it blew
sounds
up.
like horrible.
It blew
Oh
up.
my God.
People believed him, and, the rest is history.
What do you mean? They didn't pass it?
No, they passed it. But
Oh,
just saying, people,
but he just got famous in that way. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I was always wondering why he got famous. He should be like publicly shamed, and in like a real world, he would be in a justified world. He would be like publicly shamed. Like, get out of here, bro! You're talking nonsense.
Sure, but transphobia is that's like the default position for most people is transphobia.
Mm.
We're all raised that way.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing. So I have a good friend of mine. He has a nephew, and sometimes I play with his nephew on Xbox. His nephew has friends, and they were saying that they really like Lil Nas X, and the Lil Nas X being the gay rapper. And I was just telling them, like, yo, that's pretty cool that you guys are accepting of that. You know what I mean? As a rapper, when I was growing up, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? At
Not at
all.
all. No way.
You know what I mean? So, my point is the younger generation, it's getting better. And
Yeah, I think the younger generation overall is progressive, is very progressive. Obviously, it depends where they're from and where they grow up, and who they're around and their parents and stuff like that. But I think the Zoomer generation is they're certainly really progressive, and the more they all start turning 18, the more we'll get their votes in.
oh, let's see, man. Maybe we'll get them in waves, man. 18-year-olds start fucking voting like crazy every single year. You 18-year-olds.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the next test is the midterms, which is
I mean, if there's one thing good about Donald Trump is he did invigorate the political process and interest in politics.
well, yeah, people became involved to go against him.
Right, which is awesome too, bro.
Yeah.
And that shows by Joe Biden actually defeating him. I'm sure there was a whole new surge of new voters that came in. So it's we just got to get them to vote in the midterms, which is what you just said, right?
Yeah, that's the next big test, and a lot of the predictions are the Dems are gonna get fucking crushed in the midterms, and they deserve it. They deserve if that happens, they deserve it. They're awful. They're awful. They've done nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, they didn't do shit, bro.
They haven't done anything.
This is how they maintain it, bro. This is how they maintain it. They keep the Democrats that don't do nothing. Republicans, they do a lot. Democrats that don't do nothing. Like, that's how it is. The power gets shifted, but no change for the American people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because they're all on the same side.
Yeah. So the midterms are going to be interesting. I did want to touch on that, but I think I'm going to save that for the next episode.
All right. No doubt. We can see who's going to be in terms of talk about each of their political careers, maybe the top people.
Yeah, there was recently a big billionaire donation to the DNC for the midterms. So that's not good. That's awful. But we'll discuss that next time. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it here.
Yeah.
I have been looking into uploading onto podcasts on podcast platforms, like Spotify and Apple. So I want to try to get that going and get the audio only version out on podcasts. So hopefully I can do that. I'm looking into getting an overlay for this, so it'll look a little nicer. Yeah, we're gonna call it. That's episode 3 in the books. Back next week with another one.
Yo, have a good night, guys.
That'll
See
be
you for
all.
episode 4. See you in number 4.